Good morning, everybody. Welcome into Philly AM Sports with Al. I'm Al, and Mike. He's Mike. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man. We got the good, the bad, and the ugly in
Oh,
Philadelphia going on in this weekend. Hopefully, further down the road. Well, not all of it. The good being the Flyers' big W last night. We all know what the percentages look like for most teams when you win that first game of the series and what it means going into the rest of the series. The bad, which I feel is going to be the bad, is going to be the Sixers versus Boston Celtics coming up today. And the pure and just downright ugly is
the
the
Phillies. The
Phillies.
Phillies,
I mean,
yeah.
it's just downright ugly. And of course, we are less than a week away from the draft, so we'll hopefully have some new Christmas presents under the tree for the upcoming Eagles season. Mike, let's just get into it. You covered the post game last night for it. I know you got to be tired.
Boy,
Busy-
yeah,
busy
tired.
It's right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Listen, I'm definitely feeling it. As you can see, I'm wearing a nice little throwback here of the Hartford Whalers, which is now the Carolina Hurricanes. So I figured I'd do some advanced scouting for our next opponents. I'm sorry, last night the Flyers looked like the better team on the ice. They just look better. They look faster. They look sharper. And Pittsburgh looked like a team that was in the playoffs for the first time last night.
You know what? Here's my thing: is I will agree to a point. I would say more in my eyes. I had this team, and a lot of people have this team coming in, playing with house money, but they're playing like they belong here. There's a
Yeah.
difference. And I think that's the difference there. I think the um the Penguins are playing like they should be here because they were here before, and time is not their best friend right now. And the youth of the team showed in plus and minus ways, but in the long run won them this game in my eyes. The youth showed you saw, especially in the beginning of the series, the energy, like kind of like didn't know how to harness this energy and know what to do with it at times, but and you kind of saw, especially in the second period, late in the second period, a little bit into the third period, the veteran aspect of the Penguins kind of come into play, stifling the offensive options for the Flyers at a little bit at one point, but then the energy just picked up and they couldn't keep up with them.
But
And they showed it. Like they just showed that the youth energy is going to be a big thing. And Porter Martone, man, what can we say more?
listen, I want to say something here. The young guys last night, I felt shine for the Flyers. Porter Martone, uh, Owen Tippett, Zegras, Denver Barkley. Denver Barkley, I thought, even though he wasn't on the score sheet, that kid last night played an amazing game. And I'm not trying to take nothing away from Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh played a really good game themselves. But it was, for me, it was the unraveling of Malkin and Crosby. Crosby looked like he was just rattled out of his mind.
He wanted
Now,
out of that game by him getting that penalty with a couple minutes left. And you know what?
a minute left, yeah.
I don't think their fans are making enough of the situation that the fact is they were able to get into one goal. Right after that happened, they were able to get within one goal of a tie in that game. And that
I'll tell.
I was
I'll,
getting a little nervous. I'll be honest with you. I'm like, uh-oh.
yeah, well, you know what? And I also felt like they kind of took the Flyers a little lightly too, because if you look at the way they played last night, there was a sequence, probably I want to say second period, where they were offsides. Like they were offsides a half a dozen times within a 2 minute period. Within 2 minutes, they got called for offsides like six times. Like
Well,
they looked like a team last night that was just like, we're going to show up. We're the Penguins. We've beaten you before. And the Flyers just said, okay, we're going to take your initial punch. And then the Flyers punch back. And I don't think they were ready for that punch back.
no, yeah, you're probably right. And here's the thing is like you heard it. The energy that they had was the energy that their fans had. And listen, I know it's going to happen in Philly too. The FU Flyers and the Flyers suck chance.
Well, that's great. It's a part of it.
That's part of it, and I'm not upset about that at all. But it's we deserve to be here because of what we did in the past. Not we deserve to be here because of today or this season's reasoning behind it, like what you would normally get. Um, they that's the energy I got from them as players, the team as a whole, and even the fan base. And you saw how they reacted afterwards, and you still hear them talk. Fine, we let you have game one. You know, you got game one out of it. Me and Mike had a nice video teed up too. We're really
Yeah.
we were going to give you guys a chuckle. We found like the most Pittsburghian trash talking video online, and my lazy butt didn't rip it last night when I originally saw it. I'm like, I'll just do it in the morning before the show starts. And of I probably just got roasted after a while and said, screw it. I'm deleting this video. It's not, I don't like it. You know, he
The
had
best,
and everything.
yeah, listen, the best commentary I saw was on TikTok from a Red Wings fan of all teams, the Red Wings. This guy came on just trashing the Flyers, just trashing them, and I'm going, buddy, like your team didn't even make the playoffs. Like, shut up, sit down, have a seat.
I've seen some hockey pods and hockey YouTubers and Facebookers and whatever else videos. People just overall just writing the Flyers off, which
nobody gave him a chance. There's one guy who gave him a chance, and that was Paul Bissett. Former hockey player. He does
be careful. Just be careful not to use the name Bissett when it sounds too much like a Bichette. And if we have any Mets fans listening right now, they might get upset.
Yeah, but I could care less about them. I mean, listen, I know the Phillies are doing bad. It brings a smile on my face just knowing the Mets are just worse than the Phillies.
You know, and I talked about that on my show the other night, and I'm glad it does bring a little bit of a smirk, but it's not enough. Like, it's only better when we're doing good and they're not when we're
right. Exactly.
We'll get into that later.
Right. But no, Paul Bissett turned around. He said he turned around and said, I'm not writing this Philly team off. He said they've been playing playoff hockey for 3 weeks to a month. He's like, they're already in playoff mode.
Absolutely.
He said it may take Pittsburgh a couple games to get into playoff mode, and by then he said it may be too late.
And they'll be in Philly by then, and that's going to play against them. And you know what? Here's my other thing is, I think it played a lot into the favor of the Flyers last night. I think Boucher brought this up during the post game, and it made a lot of sense to me. And I wrote this down in my notes, and I said, that's a good point. Being away, I think, was a plus for them because they've been in that mode. He didn't say it this way, but he just said, just there's he pretty much said that what's in front of them was in front of them. They didn't have to worry about all the fanfare and all the stuff that went around it. He goes, it was just come, go, play hockey. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's, I think, a really good point. It allowed them just to continue that, we're on the road. We're the underdogs. We have everything to lose here. And they've been playing like that for like 2-3 weeks now.
Well, did you see they had shirts made, right? I don't know if you heard that. The Flyers, they're doing like their version of the underdog.
Ignite the, oh no, I saw the Ignite the Orange stuff.
No. They had one where I think it was March 18th. They had a 3.8% chance to make the playoffs. Something, or it's either 3.8 or 8.3, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, they got Bernie's mask on the front, and on the back it says 8.3. And they're rallying around that, to go forward with this. But what I liked, honestly, about yesterday is this: they have a chance to really just knock the Penguins out. I got to feel if the Flyers win Monday night, this series is over. It is over.
Listen, I think, yes, listen, I think being down 2-0 and coming, and that's in your house, makes it really difficult. I don't want to write this team off because the one thing about this team is we can hate them all we want, but with Letang, Malkin, and Crosby, they've done this 100 and some odd times together themselves, winning it all, not just being in the playoffs. So I don't ever want to write that I just don't want this team to look past anybody. Don't ever look past anybody.
Right, but you know what? One thing that people aren't talking about with this series is Rick Tocchet. Rick Tocchet is the key in this series, and this is why I'm saying this. Rick Tocchet won a couple cups with Letang, Malkin, and Crosby.
Yeah.
Okay, he knows those players. He's been basically quote unquote war with those guys. He knows them.
Oh, he said it. I'm going to shut them down. I'm going to attack them. I said his exact words. I'm
And
going to attack them, like go
right.
after them. Like,
Just
okay,
look at the way Sean Couturier played late yesterday. I have not seen that. Him and Ristolainen played yesterday. Like I looked, I was like, where are these guys at? Like Couturier really did a good job. He got under their skin. Sanheim was getting under Crosby's skin. Like they literally they took the best player on the ice and shut him down yesterday. Malkin got his goal, and I'm sorry, to me that was more of a, uh, you know, he kind of was like the goaltender last night, Vladar. I mean, both of his goals really weren't his fault. The one he should have had, Malkin's he should have had, but the one at the end of the game, Rust. There's nothing he could have done. Like the rebound came right to the guy's stick,
yeah,
and it was right. He was right there.
do this,
Yeah,
ricochet, whatever you want to call it.
but other than that, dude, like the Flyers, I will say this: when the hitting picked up against them, okay, they showed me something yesterday. Basically without a tough guy or whatever, they started banging back.
No goons, no
Yeah,
goons.
no goons.
Well, how Risto handled what was his name? Marthra, how you say his name?
Yeah,
Again, caused him to get a stupid penalty. Like that was just a dumb penalty.
Twice.
Yeah, but the second one was really the dumbest of the dumb penalties. We ripped his helmet off. I mean, the guy came and I mean, just absolutely smashed Risto into the boards. Like, I mean, it was a good hit. It was not a bad hit. It was a hockey hit. It was everything you want to see from a hockey game. If you have no skin in the game, like I don't want to see my guy take a hit like that. But if it was the other way around, I'd be like, damn, that was a good, clean hockey hit. But then they, got in front of the goalie and they were doing their jobs and they were pushing and shoving, which is going to happen, which is not anything illegal on either side. But it was the minute that he started pushing his helmet off. It's just dumb things. And like you said, Malkin had a good game. He was able to tie the game up at 1 and make things interesting and kind of bring the crowd back into it, because really the Flyers had the crowd out of it for a while. It was a kind of
they were dead. They were dead when the Flyers. Yep.
But again, this young team just got. They're like gnats, they were annoying. They're nipping at their heels, whatever you want to and they came in there. Just this team, you can see now, this team also with the veteran presence can make the adjustment and be better. But right now, last night, in a nutshell, they made this, which was once a really good juggernaut of a team that you always had cup aspirations going in every season, and legitimately kind of remind them they are human. And I'm telling you, Crosby took that penalty on purpose. He wanted out of that game one way or the other. And he knew he couldn't get pulled from the game and not come back in. So what did he do? He went and got a sticking penalty. It was the dumbest. I mean, it was even dumber. It was even dumber than.
I mean, for him to turn around, come on, dude, you're a captain. Again, but between, I didn't know if I should go dust off the Academy Award for him and Malkin. Especially Malkin. I mean, with Sealer.
Oh, what was it? Who was it? Who was the first penalty for the Flyers? It was with Crosby falling. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, who's the one who took it? That was an acting job whatsoever. I kind of go. Everybody relives that video from when Crosby and the Flyers were in the playoffs, and I forget who was it. It was a Gagne or something. Somebody was trying to pick up their glove off the ice, and he takes his. He was standing there, and he takes his stick and pokes the glove out of the way.
Claude Giroux.
That was Drew. Yeah. And he's like, I just don't like those guys. Anybody on that team, and it's kind of like took a long time to get there, but it had that kind of like,
Oh yeah, the hate. Listen, the hate's back.
Here it comes.
Yeah. Listen, the hate's back. I mean, and you think it's bad now? Like, I'm sorry, like the way the Pittsburgh fans kind of reacted last night and the way they were chanting. What do you think is in store Wednesday when they come here? Yeah. Oh my God, Flyers fans are salivating.
It's funny. I'm like messaging back and forth with people, tweeting things, different throughout the whole game, and I'm like, people are like, oh, you heard that? F you, Philly. I'm like, guys, it's gonna be like we effed your mother or something when we get to Philly. Like, it's not gonna be any nicer. I mean, listen, they've earned the years before the ability to talk the trash on the Flyers, right? I mean, let's just call it for what it's worth. The Penguins have owned when it comes down to it, playoff matchups, championship runs and wins and all that stuff. We can't hold a candle to what's been going on up until 2026. And it's if it's 1 year, whatever, 10 years going forward, because I think this is the last year those three are together with Letang, Crosby, and Malkin. And I wonder if Crosby goes into that retirement mode. I don't know.
I
I doubt
I
it.
I,
I think.
there's rumors about him going to Colorado. I don't know why, but
Well,
hey,
listen. I think a team that has cup aspirations
aspirations.
and the ability to be there. Having a guy like Crosby isn't bad. Doesn't have to be your top liner. He's been there. He knows how to do it. I mean, to be honest with you, tell me a guy that's not Sidney Crosby, but who has the clout of Crosby, the background of Crosby. Bring him in if the Flyers onto a Flyers team next year with that experience and the youth and the
Oh
ability
God,
would be
listen,
amazing.
listen. If Sidney Crosby wore the orange and black and with that Flyers crest across his chest, we'd love him the same way he's loved in Pittsburgh. No doubt about it. Look, I'll give you a perfect example. if just look at Yarmir Yager, okay? Look how many years we hated Yager, but the moment he put a Flyers jersey on, we were like, okay, yeah, this guy's great, So it's kind of professional jealousy. Oh boy.
Well, here's my thing is
Noobs was go. He was great last night. He had the comments of the year last night.
oh
He
yeah
was going
I
in
was watching.
on
Trust
them.
me. He always has them, and he always gets me
Dude, he
sometimes.
made me choke last night. I was literally choking and coughing. Like he had me laughing so hard.
Well, and it's funny you bring up the Yamir Yager. Yes, we grew up hating Yager,
Yeah,
and
hated him.
it took a while. It wasn't game one. It wasn't. But when you saw the ability of the guy, like even at his advanced age, um,
Hey, he
he
made Claude
he
Giroux that year. He
yeah,
made Claude Giroux.
he really just either owed somebody a lot of money or he just loved that game so much he didn't let it go. But you saw a lot in him, and it made us forget how much we hated him growing up. And it's almost like when Pedro Martinez came to the Phillies. What was it, 2009? When he
Yeah,
came here, and like
yeah.
I remember,
Everybody forgot about how much we hated him when he was with the Expos and the Mets.
yeah, like just hating him, especially as the Mets, just like hating him, and it's just like, but you saw that he brought the fire that year. I mean, it didn't play out as we would hope, but he was a big reason they made it as far as they did. So, yeah, I think I'm just saying. And listen, I don't think Sidney Crosby on this team would be. I don't care how much it is at this point now. I don't think it does
Yeah.
any good for the Flyers. But if you brought somebody with his clout and his stature, and his background to the Flyers next season would be a huge coup in building this team towards a cup contender.
This is so big in so many levels because if you remember, over these last 5 years, nobody wanted to come here. No top free agents. Nobody wanted to come play for the Flyers. One, they were in cap hell. Two, they weren't a good team. Okay, this opens a lot of doors by them making this postseason. Okay, they get to see the nucleus of this team. Okay, you can probably try to go out and get a couple centers to bring in here to play with, Travis Konechny or now Porter Martone. Okay, and just think you got Nesbitt, who's probably not too far behind from coming in. All right, I think next year. I think he's playing college hockey next year. So all right, so he's probably 2 years away. It becomes a more attractive place now to come play because now if you're playing in the NHL, you can turn around and say, hey, you know what? That Philly team's got a bunch of young talent. And we got a chance to see that in that last game. It wasn't like the Flyers, they play, people say, oh, well, it was only one game. Yes, it was, but it was against a playoff team who was battling for home ice. And the Flyers went out there and pretty much routed them with a skeleton lineup. And these young kids came up and showed what they had, even if it was for one game. To me, that future looks bright. Oliver Bonk, we can finally start letting some of these guys that were hanging on a little too long on this team start going their merry way. So for me, like I said, this postseason is going to be an opportunity. If they get past the first round, now Philly's going to become a destination spot where free agents are want to come play. They're going to want to come play here, and because they're going to say, "Hey, that Philly team's a title." Regardless of what you may think of how far away they are, what pieces they made, they are in the tournament to go to the Stanley Cup. Now, do they get there? I don't know. Right now, the only thing we can do is watch from afar, and I definitely think that they are better than this Pittsburgh team that they're playing against. If you look at it, they had more points than Pittsburgh in the regular season, but because we didn't get enough over regular, time, was it regular time wins, they have more than us. But
yeah,
to me, like this Penguins team, I'm not. Yeah, I watched them last night. Monday night's going to be the key to this series for me. If the Flyers can do what they did last night and withstand that first barrage, that first period, where they're going to be coming at you, if you can withstand that and get out of that like they did yesterday, nothing, and then settle back and just play hockey, I think as this series goes, if they can, like I said, they come out of Pittsburgh with 2 wins, Pittsburgh's not coming here and winning twice. And I just don't see that happening. So it may be 5 games, but to be honest with you, if the Flyers, you know what I mean? They win Monday and Wednesday.
Yeah.
Matty B can be sitting in a beach chair with his cocktail watching that game Saturday because the Penguins will be here, but it won't. They'll be checked out by that time.
Yeah, and I think you bring up a good point here. Is we went from a team that looked like it was just undesirable to be here, like just a young team, but with no direction or path or building towards the future, because everything just kind of seemed like the Phillies have been, either one of few things would happen. They would come out hot and then cool off, and then get hot and then cool off at the end. But everything always ended up with the Flyers just either getting hot too little too late, which this was close to it. Let's be honest, for what it's worth. This was very close, and they had a lot of wiggle room to screw it up, but they didn't. And guys like Porter Martone and what Nooms is saying here, Danny B, even if he hits even 2 of the 20-25 picks outside of Martone, they're in good shape. Another thing was a lot of people were off the Michkov train for a while, and listen, I think part of it was the psychological thing I was talking about. I know I got roasted for it from a certain guy, but, we'll keep his name out of it for right now. But, this Olympic turnaround, we all got juiced. We talked about it, Mike. We talked about it right on this show. We were juiced from what we saw in the Olympics. Hey, this is what good hockey looks like. Hey, this is what could be, for the future of the, it'd be fun to have a team that plays like this, and you're rooting for them. And it's almost like they saw the same thing we did. You know what I mean? Like they felt this energy. Hey, we can be there. And I mean, I hate to keep putting that on there because I feel like Vlad kind of takes a back seat a little bit because he was one of the big reasons they've been able to get to made the run to get to the playoffs. But Porter Martone, man, like I know it's only a short period of time, but he, he was that energy spark. Like we'll talk about in a little bit how the Phillies were hoping to bringing up, one of their young bucks who've been hitting well, and Felix Reyes, which we'll talk about that big moment, which was the only thing good about to talk about the Phillies in the last little while. Was that spark, that moment, that energy that just exuded through the team and said, "Oh well, you know what, we can do this too." And they were playing against good cup contending teams, and
that was the best because before this series started with some Penguins fans were like, "Oh my god, well, like who did you beat?" And like I started listing the name of teams. I said they beat a Dallas team, which by the way has more points than your team. I started going down the list of who the Flyers beat, and they're going, "Oh yeah, but you didn't beat them regular." I said, "Who cares?" I'm like, I said, like some Penguins fans, not all, because we got a couple good ones that are here on the network with Bill, with Bill and John. Believe it or not, Ed, who does Gridiron Weekly, that I've done some stuff with, he's actually a Caps fan. He's actually from Washington originally, but he lives out in Pittsburgh. But yeah, yeah. So
sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, buddy.
Yeah, I'll talk to you when he told me about the draft coming up. But yeah, you know, just talking, just listening to some of these fans, like now how you win a game and how you collect points. Like now that matters. Oh well, you didn't beat them in regular time. We beat them. Who cares? It's an 82 game marathon.
Listen,
Okay.
and again, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. This team will remember, these fans remember what they did the years before, right? The last 20 years have been really good to the Pittsburgh Penguins for the most part, right? Penguins fans you're usually in the playoffs. You have won a handful since then. It's not like they've been, they haven't earned that much, but it's this year. It's the 2026 season, and they have a young coach too, or he's working with a very, what I like to when they refer to as a veteran lineup, and it is a veteran lineup. I mean, it should be probably getting retired lineup at one point. Most likely, like I said, the last chance that these three guys will be together on the same team, unless some other team crazily goes out and takes on all their contracts and just goes, I'll just build the oldest team in hockey or something. But it's not what you did last year or the year before like that or the year before that. It's what you're doing right now. How many times have you seen in any sport playoff run guys, teams that you really weren't thinking about? Like I go back to
Like
Arizona. They beat us in 2023 with the Phillies, or and the and the Rangers, the Texas Rangers with that one.
yeah,
Nobody had those guys on their bingo card going into the season.
right, exactly. And here's the thing too. Um, like you would think that the Flyers and Pens, with their history, have met up a lot of times in the playoffs. It's only been 7 times. This
Mm-hmm.
is number 8 right now. Uh, and if you're looking at it, Flyers won. Flyers won the first 3 series. Okay, they won in '89 4-3, '97 4-1, 2000 4-2. Penguins won their first in 2008 4-1, and then 2009 4-2. All right, so right there it's 3-2. Flyers won in 2012 4-2. Penguins won in 2018 4-2. So the Flyers 1, 2, 3, 4. So the Flyers are 4-3 against Pittsburgh all time in the postseason. Now the Penguins have won 2 of the last 3 times they played.
Yeah.
If you want to go back, yeah.
That
So
doesn't mean anything except for that year. Like, I like
right,
when they show these stats, and the stats make it fun and interesting and give us stuff to talk about. Like when hey, listen, let's talk about like the Phillies on Friday night, right? I'm watching that game and they're just getting pummeled by the
I'm
Braves.
sorry.
Not the Braves, yeah, the Braves. Um, and they bring up the Mike Schmidt game against the Cubs. It was in 1979 or whatever.
Oh,
He
he hit like
four
four
home
home
runs,
runs.
and they came
Yeah.
back with the biggest deficit, won 18-16 against the Cubbies and Wrigley and all that stuff. And that was them trying to make people not want to walk away from their TV sets after 3 innings, 4 innings.
Yeah.
It makes it interesting, but that means nothing about today. Mike Schmidt wasn't going to resurrect himself, come out and play third base from us, even though we would all love to see that.
uh,
The Olympic break was good, big for the Flyers. They were all well rested and got their mojo back. Yeah, I maybe the rest did them good. I really think, to be honest with you, Joe, is they saw what we saw. Like, why not us? I mean, we,
oh, there goes that. There's that Kurt Schilling statement again.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, the way I look at it though, honestly, with this game, like I said, let's kind of put the bad because we got the good out of the way. So because we got to deal with the bad and the ugly,
mm-hmm.
and but what are you looking forward to, Al? What I'm going to say to you is, what are you looking forward to Monday night? What do you want to see from this Flyers team going into Monday night?
A couple of things. Number one, foot on the pedal. Continue to keep the foot on the pedal. Like, use that energy, use that youth against this veteran laden Penguins team, but also maybe just focus in a little bit more. You saw the youth of them, especially in that second period. Like the puck was controlled a lot of time in that second period by the Penguins, and thank God for Vlad and the defense. It was and there wasn't a lot of shots on goal. I think they only had like 27 shots on goal after the first two periods
Yeah.
between both teams, not
Mhm.
just one team, but both teams.
Right.
So, they kept if keeping the puck off the net's the best way of making sure you don't lose a game. But yeah, just having this team maybe just focus in and make sure it get a little bit more puck control in the zone there.
Yeah, my keys for Monday night's game is this. What I want to see them continue to do is I want to see them clamp down on the rebounds coming out and getting the puck out. Like make Pittsburgh come in and work and work and work. And that's what it was. Pittsburgh to me, it seemed like they got tired. And I want to if they can continue to do that, I think it's going to be a long series
Mhm.
for the Penguins. And like I said, if they go down 2-0, got to come here.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's flirting with disaster. So
Broad Street Apparel wants to know what's wrong with the Phillies, guys. We're going to get in that in a moment, in just a second. But if we had that answer, we wouldn't be sitting here. We'd actually be working for the Phillies and helping them fix it. For a team with 4 Super Bowls, the Giants are abysmal against the Birds. It's not quite that bad in Pitt, but today can made it go back in that direction. Yeah, I
yeah,
I I, I see what he's saying there. I kind of butchered it, but it's great to see young guys step up as the Flyers. And yes, Ristolainen really stepped up in the playoffs because I know everybody was I was at one point one of the guys out on them. So yes, as you said, we did talk about the Flyers. We were going to touch a little bit more on the other things. The bad I said was the Sixers. We're going to go out of order. Let's talk about the Phillies. We have to rant about them. So we'll go the good, the ugly, and hit the bad if we want to at the end.
yeah.
Because I think I think it's going to be bad. But in my case, is this Phillies team, and the struggles are real. I know you kind of poked in on my Friday night, mishmash show as we call it now. I know you've been covering this team. I've never seen a team so disjointed, disconnected on all cylinders, man. It is just nobody. I mean, except like okay, last night it was a wasted pitching performance from Sanchez. I think 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, um, 0
But we
earned runs. You
yeah,
know,
but Al, we've seen this. We've seen this. It's happened the last 3 years. Okay, there's a stretch in this season where the Phillies are just numb to playing smart baseball. It just so happens that it's usually in the middle or towards late in the year when it happens. This year, it's happening in the beginning of the season. Um, you know, like I said, they hired Don Mattingly for a reason. So he was their
okay. Well,
backup
all
plan.
right. What was the reason?
What was the reason that they hired him?
Yeah, you tell me. What was the reason they hired Don Mattingly?
Hey, because they knew this. If you're sitting back watching, they've gone through this. Okay, he is there for when they get rid of Rob Thompson. He wasn't just brought in just as a bench coach. Like that's Rob Thompson's
Okay, well
replacement.
that's what I wanted to hear you say. You're saying they brought him in.
Yeah, it's a fail. It's
But
a
it's a fail safe. It's a
yeah.
break in case of emergency. When
Yep.
is that emerge? When is Mike Lara ready to break this glass?
About another month from now, at least. Topper's going to be your manager. Like, listen, how many playoff teams have we seen in the past that have had horrible Aprils?
And I get that. Again, I'm usually pretty like, all right,
I
guys,
know you're usually a half full.
weather the storm. We could weather the storm, but I can't. God, I hate saying this. Hold on. Hold on one sec. Irish it up real quick. Um, I have to agree with Matty B. Like this team is the same team, and I'm going to jump down a couple of comments. I will come back to the other ones in a second. No, actually, it's one right below here. Arizona exposement 23. We've all talked about this. I've agreed upon this. Yes, they did. They gave kind of a blueprint, and this team has done nothing to make the blueprint obsolete in 3 years almost.
Right.
2 years, 2 seasons. And people don't care. Let the Phillies are a good team. Don't worry. We'll let them make the playoffs. We know what to do when it gets to that point. Like they just, and it's showing even more now. And I just um I'm starting to think maybe he's right. It just I, and
Well,
I just I don't see him doing anything. I mean, Dombrowski, I felt like the one who said, "You want? We need to bring Felix Reyes up. He's not going to cover off the ball. We have another guy sitting on the bench who ain't doing squat." And he was the one like he almost got me last night. He almost got me. First at bat, MLB debut, home run. All right. And the Phillies did nothing. You had that happen, and you had Sanchez pitch a gem yesterday, and you did shit with it, Mike.
you want
You
to know
did
why?
shit with it.
You want to know why? Because
Why?
these. Listen, Turner, Schwarber, and Harper, they're gonna get theirs. It's the supporting cast around them that's got to do better. Bohm's got to be a better batter. Stott, when he's in there, he's got to be a better batter. And here's the thing, and Matty made sense last night. The development of Bryson Stott has stopped. Yeah, that's twice. Uh, Either I was really drinking heavy last night, or Matty B was definitely making some really, really good points last night. One of them being the whole thing with Topper. Like, Topper's not going to get out of here. I kind of agree with Matty on this. I think it's going to take at least a month. He's going to have a bad May for them to fire him. So, you know, their philosophy hasn't changed. They're just trying to run it back with this. And
they have what one home game, one home series this whole year.
That's it.
I mean,
again,
really, can I be honest with you? Can I ask you a serious question? If this continues up now, it's April 19th, so it's 11 days left in May, right? If this April, this continues to May, should you really wait through the whole month of May at this point?
No, listen, they could move on sooner if this continues to go. Like, you got a with that payroll. No, you cannot afford to sit around and fall behind. Like, you don't want to get behind the Braves double digits. And it's getting to be that way. I mean, really, if you take a look, Braves win tonight. It's a 3-game sweep. I mean, would they fire Topper after tonight? I doubt it, but by May 1st, it could happen if they go down this road, because they got to play the Cubs and the Braves again on the road. So, now you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball against NL teams. You know what I mean? So,
and Broadstreet Apparel's also, I think he makes a good point here. I mean, Dombo hasn't really been elite in his positioning. I mean, they've made some big signings, and ever since then, all they can be able to do is make guys who should have been were used to be's or whatever you want to call them, and hopefully take Garcia for instance. I still am not off of the Garcia train just yet, but so far he really hasn't lived up to the hype at all. I know again it's still early, but he keeps bringing in guys who had success at one point who've been faltering over a few years, and they hope the change of scenery is what they need. And sometimes you can hit that, but you can't build a team around that. That's the difference. Like, I again, this team really would telegraph me an issue, and I was hoping to be wrong, and I could still be wrong. It's still too early to judge, but what's the signing of the re-signing, I should say, of Kyle Schwarber?
I'm gonna agree with you.
$150 million for 5 years. I know him and Harper are about the same age, but you already have two of them with him and Trey. Now you're going to throw a third one in there, and then they got Romuto because they had no other choices, because you couldn't move on from Romuto because you had no other catching choices at this point. And then you signed Schwarber. That could have been the one thing you didn't do. You could have, like I said, like they paid him almost what they paid. They paid what's his face?
Alonso. Right, and that's that. I think that would have been a better fit here.
Well, he could have played the field, and it wouldn't be as big as a defensive worry as you would have got from him. And you don't clog up. I'm telling you, that clogging up of that, it's for 5 years. It's clogged. So if Harper has one of those other injuries where he can only do DH, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I see a comment down here from Broad Street Apparel. Says, let JT Walk trade for Adley in Baltimore. The problem is, if you trade for Adley in Baltimore, you're giving up Aiden Miller and Justin Crawford, and that's not to say, and probably Painter to go get Adley. So
Or
You know,
they're not gonna. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be a lot. I don't know if you're gonna have to give up all that, but it's gonna be close to a lot.
damn close to it.
You're
You
gonna
may
have to
get
sell a
you
lot of
you
big pieces. Yeah.
right. You would probably keep maybe one out of those three.
Yeah. I mean, that's the point. Is like any big move at this point is going to cost you. Nobody's going to want a JT. I still think is probably the only one that's not the worst of them all. Like I know maybe I have my JT colored glasses on. People always tell me I love him, and I do. I think he really is underrated for his defense that he does. He's out there a lot. He's not a liability at the plate all the time like a lot of these guys can be, offensively and defensively, and as a maestro of a game, like he is important to this team. And because they didn't have a catching option behind him, and with the injury of Zach Wheeler and the coming, and the delay of Andrew Painter, it almost kind of just everything played in his favor. Everything came up JT where they had to sign him.
Right. Yeah, I feel the same way for that. But again, uh, he may not make it off this road trip out. Like Topper may not make it off the road trip. Um, One thing that I will say, you know, when he was talking about the Adley one, I see what he wrote here. I'm not doing that trade either. No way. I am not giving up Gage Wood, Nori, or
Dante
Escobar.
Corey. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not giving up none of them. Not for him. No way.
I
I
mean,
mean, yeah,
Aruna,
Adley's a good he's a good catcher. Adley's a good catcher,
would you
but
give up 2 of the 3?
I'm not trading Gage Wood. Gage Wood is going to be
Well,
he's going to
so
replace
would you
Nola.
trade Dante Nori and Arun Escobar? I mean, I like Arun Escobar. I got his
I do too.
sign ball back here, but I don't know what Arun Escobar is just yet for me
Yeah,
to like.
same thing with Dante Nori. Same thing
Yeah.
with Dante Nori. So,
Mhm.
but there you go. Oh, what a Saturday night! My boys, my Flyers, and my Giants got another top 10 pick, and WrestleMania was okay. Good night.
I'm glad the Giants got another top 10 pick to do absolutely nothing with. I'm
Yo,
really happy for that.
listen. When he called me and told me that the Bengals
I
gave
have
up
that
the
on my
numbers,
list to talk about.
the
Yeah.
number 10 pick for Dexter Lawrence, I was like, wow. I was like, dude, there you go.
So we should be able to jump up with AJ Brown, right?
Yeah.
With AJ.
Uh,
I will say this: Mick Abel, Eduardo Tieta, how you say this, our ball's awful right now in Minnesota. It ain't all bit. No, and here's the thing: is when you get traded away, everything plays a factor into it. They're in Minnesota, don't you know? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it's
which means there's a great chance they'll be up on the trading block.
yeah, and it's
Going
not even
up.
just that. They're just what do they got to work with? You know what I mean? Would Eduardo Tieta and Mick? I mean, Mick Abel hasn't. Everybody's like, oh, that's And what was the other one they just lost in free or Rule 5 or whatever it was? McGriff.
No,
Gary
they
Mc,
got him back.
no, I thought they lost him again.
They lost him again. Jesus.
I forget what it is. Hold on. Um,
Was it Griff McGarry or something like that?
Griff McGarry or whatever. Yeah, yeah. I always
Yeah,
call Mick.
they just said, oh yeah, because they were talking about he was back in the fold with the organization. Lost him to the Dodgers.
Yes, the Dodgers. That's it. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then he's gonna go to the Dodgers. He's gonna be like their number 2 guy in their rotation. You watch. That's what it's starting to feel like anymore.
yeah.
If we turn this around, what about Gage Wood in a trade for Kettle Marte?
I would do that. I would do that.
I'm not a huge fan of Kettle Marte. I don't know why. I'm not a huge fan. Like I don't say he's overrated, but I think some people do overrate him a little bit. But I'll take anything right now. Like at
Listen,
this,
right now you got to be looking at getting Bohm and Stott out of here at the trade deadline. Like you really, truly do. You got to look at moving these guys because they're not helping the team. Alec Bohm's in his own head. You know, he he's over there sulking, sitting next to Schwarber in the dugout. Like this kid is just, you know. And here's the thing: we probably could have got a lot for him a couple of years ago when he was an All Star. You know.
we got trade discussions in here. Broad Street wants to know if Elephant would trade Gage Wood for Kettle Marte, And Elephant saying, yes, he would. I don't know. Like I said,
I love it. I love it. We got our listeners, or I should say, our contributors to our show. Are in
yeah.
here making packages up, man. Keep going, man. Keep going.
I mean, right now he's having not the greatest 2026 season. Um, but I mean, he's 32 years old too.
I know.
Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just I don't see it worth the hay just yet. I mean, if we were listen, if we were Kettle Marte, I should say a Kettle Marte away from winning a championship, then fine. But we're not. You want to add another
I don't
30?
know. I mean, hold on. Like, as much as people want to talk about how the Phillies, you know, did this and did that, like last year they were the second best team in the National League, and that was last year. Now they've gotten off to a rough start. They have.
Do you really want to take on? Do you got like here? Like, let's just be honest. Let's look at the whole thing. Kettle Marte is a 6 year contract with Arizona in 2025. All right, in April, I should say, in 2025, which makes him here with them or whoever that contract is until 2030, with the 2031 option. Do we really need a guy who's 6 years, $116 million for another 5 years? 4 to 5 years. We already
Yeah.
have JP. We already have Schwarber. We already have Harper. We already have. I mean, you're really locking your team in at that point, like
Yes,
to a
but
bunch of age guys.
yes,
He's going to be 38 years old at the end of that.
I don't
Why?
care if he can help him get to a World Series because Cattell, as Steve put it up there, Cattell.
Could tell. Yeah. You could tell me later. I could care less.
All right. I'm not worried about that. He can put the ball in play. Al, behind, we have no contact hitters on this team. None. We need contact hitters. The only guy who was making contact, who was a contact hitter, was JT. He was more of a contact. But right now, we don't have that. Stott's not hitting. You know, Marsh is what he is. Marsh gets hot and cold, and Alec Bohm right now, who's supposed to be a contact hitter, ain't hitting nothing but nets. You know, so you have
Well,
to. We got to do something to get it in there. That dude.
The last thing I think this team really needs to do is add another 4 or 5 year contract with a guy 32 plus years.
Okay, but if it's going to give you a World Series this year, next year, you would sign off on that.
Ketel Marte is the reason the Phillies are going to win the World Series this year. Like, that's my point. If he was the reason, yeah, sell the farm, then get me that goddamn walk down Broad Street. That's what I want. But that's not going to happen. You're telling me by injecting Ketel, I'm going to say it that way, Marte is going to make the difference of them winning and losing. I don't see it.
Well, he would provide something that they don't have right now. That's what I'm saying. He provides a guy who makes
a second baseman batting at 215.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, he's having a rough start, but come look at his numbers by the All-Star break. Matter of fact, he'll be here in July playing in the All-Star game. Like, that dude is legit. Okay, and his bat alone, and not to mention his defense. You are shoring up your defense in the infield. So I mean, you know, I don't know, man. I would definitely try to make him take a flyer on me. He couldn't be any worse than what you have in Stott right now. He can't be any worse. Stott's got a good glove.
I mean, you should go Bo Bichette. He was he's batting 227. I mean, you might as you really, you know. But the whole Ada Miller thing, this thing is what people call him a bust. You can't call him a bust if he gets injured.
Why? Because he's hurt. I mean, that's the one thing I love our fan base, but right away they're real quick to label somebody. You know.
Here's my thing: is like he's still young enough; he can get better if his back hurts. But if it's a lingering thing, that's a problem. But I think what sucks about this Broad Street is really the timing, because right now, if we had like at least saw him in the in spring training just a little bit, and he was good and he was good enough, we could be like, all right, well, you know what, Bohm sucks, get him out, just get him out, trade him for a bag of balls and get him out, and then we could bring him up and then just kind of hope the young guys, you know, I would rather see this team struggle with the young guys and maybe make the playoffs or fight to make the playoffs than sit here and do it the same way they've been doing it for the last couple of years with the same group of guys just to find out the same shit's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stott was good making contact and hitting. Bad luck for a while, but now it's interesting. Now the interest is starting to compound. Yeah, because that's what he was. Like he's young. He does have a really good glove at second base. I mean, some of these, like even like the Sosa error yesterday. Did you see that? Where like kind
No.
of it bounced off at second
Oh,
base.
the
It was
heel.
like he healed his palm there, and he tried to grab it with his bare hand and missed it, and probably was the reason that they weren't 1-1. You know, I mean that was the turning point. But yeah, you could blame that a little bit, but they still would have needed to score more runs, and this team did not.
Yeah.
And Ketel Marte, in my eyes, is not going to be the reason this team um, scores more runs.
Well, we agree to disagree on that one. I think he provides a much needed, uh, he provides a much needed shot in the arm, to this lineup. So, I saw a name that somebody put up there, Joe Adell. Um, I don't know enough about him. I know he took away 3 home runs or 4 home runs in a game. The kid from the Angels. Yeah, he's from the Angels. Yeah.
He's younger. I mean, like, let's just throw it out there. He's younger. He's 20. Let me look him up. 27. He's 27 years old. He's batting at 292 right now. I mean, sure. I mean, he's athletic. He's got speed. He's younger. What's it going to cost to get him here? And like, what do you trade? Where are you putting him? That's the other question. There he is. Good morning, Mikey Papernick. I was waiting for the just fire Robbie already. Come on now.
Man, Mike, I feel bad for Mike, man. Mike's up there. He's like right around. He's in upstate New York, so he's probably got all the Buffalo heads up there getting ready. He's got to listen to all that Saber talk up there.
Oh, jeez. Bohm is just balls awful and a terrible mental place. That's the problem with Bohm. That's always been my big problem with Bohm. He is a head case. We've seen it. That was kind of one of those like, oh, watch how he turned around since the out. I hate this effing play situation. I mean, and then also the whole we forget about the whole family situation. Suing his parents.
Yeah, that could be something else too. That could be kind of hindering them too. Like find out your parents were stealing your money. You know what I mean? Like
Thank you, Elephant. At least somebody is listening to me here. Like maybe not Marte, but maybe Joe Adell. Yeah. But Joe Adell he's an outfielder. So where do you put him? Like, I mean, your best hitter right now is Brandon Marsh. Crawford, you gotta let Crawford, even though Tomper doesn't believe it, you gotta let Crawford play.
Yeah, I know. What was up with that last night too? Like
this is my point. Like, are you
what's the sense of having him up on this roster if you're not going to let him face the starting pitching he needs to face?
This is what I'm thinking, Mike, and tell me if I'm wrong. Because if I think this is true, if this is true at all, I'm even more annoyed than I was, before we started the show. Is it because of the pitcher? Because he's been struggling a little bit in the last, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 games. Crawford hasn't really been hitting as well as he started. Was it to preserve him from having to go up against a more
preserve my ass? It's his first year. Throw him to the wolves.
But I'm saying, is that what Tomper was doing, or the organization?
I don't know what the hell Topper's doing
because that's my point. Is if that's the truth, that right there is my most fireable offense. I am tired. Listen, and it happened again. The whole thing with Bohm a few games ago when
he came up the bat with the. Yeah, bases are loaded, brings them up the pitch.
Hey, guys, don't worry. We have a guy who's not used to hitting off the bench. He's a doubles machine. Yes, he has decent numbers. Don't get me wrong. He has good numbers with runners in scoring position. I get it. But it's not with coming off the bat cold as ice. And he's been in a bad mental space lately. He's struggling. So what do? You find a pressure cooker of a goddamn moment to throw him in there. And one of the stupidest things, and took out your best hitter. Yes, I understand the lefty-righty situation with Marsh, but At one point in this season, Mike, and maybe later in the season, if they kind of turn things around into the postseason, Marsh is going to have to go and hit against these hitters or pitchers, and he's got to be able to know he's going to do it. I'd rather have him here.
You mean you say Marsh?
Marsh. I'm talking about Marsh. Like they took Marsh out when he's a best hitter at this moment.
Oh,
And
I'm sorry.
if you're going to keep him in there, he's going to have a moment in the season where he needs to be able to hit, and
Well,
you're
it's the
not going
same
to
thing.
pull him.
It's the
Like,
same thing with Crawford.
get it. It's so
It's,
maddening.
it's the same thing with Crawford. Why are you taking Crawford out of the game, or not playing him? Why? Because Chris Sale's on there. Guess what? I'm pretty sure Crawford has pitched had a battle against a left-handed pitcher. Like, I don't understand that. Like, the way he's trying to, I guess, kind of not. I'm not gonna say coddle him, but like, I guess the way he's using, like, no, you brought him in to be your everyday center fielder. Damn it, put him in the lineup. Let the kids see. Let's see what this kid can do. You can't be worried about. Oh well, he's going up against the Cy Young Award winner. We don't want to. We don't like the matchup with him and Sale. Hell with that. Throw the kid out there. Dude, you can have the Sixers probably plus 30. They're going to get smoked today.
The Sixers plus 12. I don't know.
Yeah, the Sixers plus 30. They're going to get robbed.
I see the cupcakes. I think 12 cupcakes in your picture. I'll take 12 cupcakes. That's the only thing that's going to make that this Sixers Celtics playoff series palatable. You know what I mean? Broadway saying the errors led them to losing. What, last night's game? Overall,
I mean, Maddie kind of touched something on yesterday too. Like, they played 20 games and they got 16. They got 16 errors in 20 games, and they got 21 home runs in 20 games. So,
some of them when they were down or up a lot. Like, that's the other thing. Don't forget, like when they came in to beat up on Colorado the first game, you had Marsh hit a big home run. You had a lot of home runs. Like, if you really look at home runs if they were needed, like if they were within, they had the worst run differential in Major League Baseball, or at least the National League. I think could be all of Major League Baseball as of right now. The team is lost. It's not just the errors. I mean, the errors definitely don't help, but the errors just show a disconnect, a mental disconnect here, and that's the problem. And I hate to be that guy who signs with Matty B and sit there and tell you the guy's gotta go.
Yeah,
like, gotta go.
Listen, I think we can all agree that he's got to go. But the thing is how long do they hold on to him before they let him go? Because obviously his message is stale in that room. The message has gotten stale.
It's funny that Broad Street says, he said, since they got rid of the clock and Harry the K's, they put the curse on them. No, that was just this year. Look at when they started from Dollar Dog Night to BOGO, buy one get one free night.
Yeah.
I really feel like that was when it all went down. That was the sacrilege. Sixers could win a game with their defense abilities when they clamp down, but they don't seem to have the mental fortitude or the joints to sustain it. Yeah, I mean, come on. I'm saying, I'll tell you right now. Here are my predictions. Gentlemen sweep. I call it right now.
I'm thinking that too. I think Celtics in 5.
Yeah. With indictment or management, or maybe a little column A or column B.
I think it's both too.
I think it's column A, column B. Yeah. Finals will be Spurs and Celtics.
There you go. Ready?
Is that indictment of management or the analytics department?
I think it's more of the management.
Money, they should fire half that department and or stop giving the binder. Stop printing out pages to put in freaking the binder for like, stop.
You know what? The binder should be left in the manager's office and not allowed out during games. Like, seriously, it's crazy. Torts in Vegas should be interesting. Yeah, it should be.
Do you guys think the carryover drama of Cassie situation is the cause?
No.
I here in all honesty, Broad Street. It's an indictment, as we were using the term, throwing it around this morning with Elephant, just trying to sound like a Law and Order over here, Philly Sports Edition. But it's an indictment on the total mismanagement of this team and allowing not Casty was his Dombo's guy in Cincinnati or whatever it was, or no, in I guess it was in Detroit, right? And then
Detroit.
yeah, and the red flags were obviously there. A lot of that came out when they got rid of him, and they thought they could work around him, and they didn't allow it, and they allowed his ego to play into it. So I don't think it's a direct cause, but it's a direct puzzle piece to the entire puzzle. Reality set in for those Charlotte Hornets. Oh yeah, is everybody off the Charlotte Hornets train? Did they lose? I missed it. To be honest with you, I was not paying attention. I never got to
Oh,
experience the dollar dog elephant in the room.
oh,
Whoa,
listen,
whoa,
what?
whoa, what, what?
I
Like
can tell.
seriously?
Hey, Al, I'm gonna tell you this. You know my Jersey guy, the one I go to,
Yeah.
that hooker. Me and him used to
Our
go.
Jersey guy.
Yes, our Jersey guy.
Yeah.
He used to go, and when I tell you, my man would come home with 100 hot dogs. He would come home with 100 hot dogs. I mean, he would literally take orders, and watching him do this was almost most as enjoyable as the game. My
I
buddy
saw a
John.
guy. I saw a guy get one of those zipper, like the square ones you could fold down, like with the silver lining, the zipper foam
Yeah,
like cooler bags. I saw him do that. I saw
it
him
was
go about
it was probably my buddy. It was probably our Jersey guy, my
it,
buddy
it,
John. It was definitely him.
he bought it off one of the vendors who are walking around, but they weren't in the seats. They were coming from like one section to go to another section. And he's like, "Oh no, I'll take 20." He's like, "Oh, I'm not really supposed to sell more than 10." He's like, "I'll take 20." He's like, "All right." So the guy gives the guy 20, and he gives him 20 hot dogs. I don't even think the guy counted them. He just like scooped them up and threw it in the. He went from one container to another container. Like,
Dude, and
um,
the funny thing is, like, my buddy would come home, right? He would divvy them out or whatever. I remember, like, he would come around my house and drop off like 10 hot dogs. And I'd be like, dude, what the hell am I going to do with 10 hot dogs? And he'd be like, he was like, eat them. I was like, so when he kind of taught me a trick, which I didn't realize, he would freeze them. And then when you wanted them, you would take them out, put them in the microwave, and they tasted just as fresh as you got them the day, or just when you got them at the ballpark. And he would be sitting there
he's like
watching.
way too extra. Like, I just imagine open this dude's freezer, just be like 47 like
47.
aluminum.
Listen, you know the
Yeah,
bags. You know the bags that you get at the souvenir shop, or
yeah.
the bro. My man had 6 of those filled. That was the game I took. Me and him went Dollar Dog Night when I had my seats. I shit you not. Watching him go get all these hot dogs was it was an Olympic event because they would always sell them 5 at a time. So he'd have to go over to this stand, then go over to this stand, and then go over to this stand. My man was running all night. I mean, the game was secondary. Like, watching him acquire all these hot dogs became the most like must see. I couldn't even tell you if the Phillies won that game that we were at, but I can tell you where
But
we
here's my
walked
thing
to.
is here's my thing is like dollar dog night, right? If you went and bought a package of hot dogs, right, less than $1 a dog. I mean, like if you buy the package of hot dog, and go buy some cheap hot dog buns. Are you really saving anything? It's just a dollar dog night at the stadium was nice because the stadiums are so goddamn expensive. And the
Right,
funny thing is, it would still be cheaper if they made it $2 dog nights because you're paying $2.50 a hot dog.
right.
Because it's like $5 a hot dog, and then it's buy one get one. This Phillies team is not better than the Mets.
He meant to say the Braves.
Did he? He said the Mets. Oh, okay, I see that down here. All right, yeah. Well, no, this Braves team's playing really well. I mean, right now they are. I'm not denying that. The Phillies
Listen,
are third, possibly fourth place team.
people right now who are
The funny
just
thing is, even Matty B will disagree with that. I think he knows that the team will get better enough to do what they do and fail as they will in the postseason. And I agree with him on that. God,
yeah,
this morning.
man, you said that way too many times. You're gonna have to go take a shower when you're done
I'm
this
going to
show.
church after this. Don't worry. I'm going to shower in the holy one. I'm just going to drizzle it down.
Uh,
And for those, by the way, who are watching, we're a little over time here, but I'm not ready to rush this out the door yet. But if you're new, because I see some new faces, Broad Street, thank you for joining us. I think I saw another one here. Just do me a favor, like, subscribe, share, whatever you can do to help us out. And for
Yeah.
all
Oh,
always here, thank you so much. If you knew they had a dollar dog night, you wouldn't be. If you knew why they had dollar dog night, you wouldn't be eating those mofos. Probably. Listen, hot
probably
dogs,
not.
hot dogs alone are mystery meat. God knows, and they're getting it by the pallet full. You know what I mean? Like it's what it is. The real elite Dave Dombrowski would be a make made big trades really to make this team better. You know, we all worried about, and it's funny that Broad Street brings that up, but we all said that like the big scare about when he came here, he was going to trade away our whole farm, and he didn't do that. Do you kind of wish he did that instead? Like I don't know if that's better or worse.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This took my son. This is my son. Took him to. We went to a few dollar dog nights, man.
Yeah, that's where you take the kids all the time. Because it's not affordable. You're like, all right, I can afford the tickets tonight because you're only eating hot dogs. You know what I mean? Like that's all you're eating.
Yeah, and that's
Um,
another thing too. We can always talk about this now. Like to go see a baseball game now is ridiculous.
oh, I went to go. My wife and I wanted to go to a Phillies game. I'm going to a Phillies game in June. My kid's school's doing one of those ones where you get the tickets through the school. It's a kind of a fundraiser for the school too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We
And
did that. Didn't we do that like last
yes,
year or the
when
year
we did
before?
the EOP one, yes.
Yeah,
So it's $43 for a ticket, which whatever, it's not a lot, but you're up in the 300 level, whatever. Um, but again, like if I wanted to go to the game today, no matter how bad they've been playing, to get half decent 100 level tickets would probably cost me about $200 a person. So it's $800 for me just to take my before I park my car, buy a hot dog, get a soda, anything. It's just it's outrageous. Like that's why I built out my basement the way it is. Like you know, I was like, I was on Timu the other day. I'm like, I'm gonna put a hot dog roller. I'm gonna throw the hot dog roller in my basement and just put it up on a table in there. And you know what? Not even dollar dog nights. Just grab a bun and some mustard and have at it, kids. Like that's what I'm looking at.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, yeah. That's to me. To go into a game anymore is not. I don't know. Like to me, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting older and I just don't want to deal with crowds anymore.
yeah,
But like I
that's a
find
little
more
bit. That's a
comfort.
little bit of it. Yeah,
I
it's a
I
little bit
find
of it.
more. I find more confident of it just sitting at home and watching
Well, listen,
everything at home.
we live in the era also where you can get a 70-inch TV for under 500 for about $500, right? So you have a 70-inch TV, so you always have the best game in the house, best seat in the house. There's no heat or cold or inclement weather to deal with. You have a bathroom within spitting distance at most people's houses from where you're watching the game. Anything you buy for food, it's going to be a lot less than you buy there. You have to pay for parking. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is more fun. There is an atmosphere about going to the stadium, but yeah, I mean, Eagles games. I talk about this all the time. It's an 8 hour thing. It's
Yes, it
two,
is.
3 hours beforehand,
2,
three for the
3
game, 2, 3 hours to get
hours
home.
after.
Like
Yep.
it's tough. It's tough.
The only
Just
thing.
okay.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead now.
Says just move Crawford to lead off, Turner to 2, Harper to 3. Short. That would be the best thing I've seen all day. Like honestly, even if you don't fire, you can if you're gonna do this first, fine. That's what I want to see. Like, can we stop being out baseballing baseball and go back to some of the
Yeah.
you know the tried and trues?
I'll tell you, the one thing I'm looking forward to, and for this summer, as we're talking about games, both of my grandsons are coming back up. My son's moving back home, so he's going to be close by. So
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to taking at least the oldest one to a game. My son's youngest one's still a little tykish yet, so wait for him to get a little older before I
Mhm.
take him to a game. But it'd be kind of cool to experience that, you know. But other than that, like for me, like I said, going to a game now is just it's just too priced out. Like before, like when we were younger, when I was a kid, literally for under $10, you could go to a Phillies game, and that's including going to and from, buying your
If you
ticket,
bought
and
yourself your own goddamn hot dogs, you could go to a Phillies game. And
oh
if you
yes,
bought, and if you bought that hot dog package, the Philly Franks, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, if you bought that hot dog package, you found a double header, you got 2 games for free.
yes, 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 you did. Yes, you did. As a matter
Um,
of fact, I missed that. They ought to start doing that. They should put at least 3 games in there a year. I miss the Twilight doubleheaders. Like they should start doing that again for people.
I don't know if you saw the coffee fairy appear behind me out of this skyline of Philadelphia, but thanks, babe.
Yeah, that's what Jamie just came over. That's why when you saw me turn my head, I thought
If you just wonder why my screen got prettier for 5 seconds, that was why. Because it was not me.
Yes, my wife was.
And for those who are commenting, yes, I totally outkicked my coverage. Yes, I know. I'm well aware. I know. She has really bad eyesight. If you ever see her glasses, you'll see why she enjoys me. I'm a 7 with her eyesight. 4 if she got laser eye correction. What do you guys take on the NFL draft this coming week?
Listen, I think Howie does his magic. I think there's something coming up.
You're going with he's going to trade or make a move of some sort.
I keep hearing Myles Garrett to the Eagles.
He's not standing put, or he's making a big trade.
Yeah. Two things I've heard that I've been hearing quite more and more of. The one thing that keeps getting louder is Myles Garrett to the Eagles. That's getting like I've heard. You start hearing like traction, a little bit of traction. Like this thing's doing a burnout. You know what I mean? The Myles Garrett one. The other one is, believe it or not, I'm hearing that they might drop out of the first round, trade that pick to acquire more picks for next year.
Yeah.
Because I think they have their sights set on, from what I'm hearing, it was like 3 people. And if those 3 people are gone, I think they're gonna trade out and go get. So I'd be real shocked if they trade up. But
would you be real shocked because of the size of the contracts of Myles Garrett and or Max Crosby if they brought one of those guys in? Because they got to make a decision about Carter this coming year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do. They have to make. But even if they acquire one of those guys, that's not going to stop them from. Like a lot of people think that if they bring in somebody like a Garrett or a Crosby, that it's going to take away from signing Jalen Carter. It's not going to, because you got to remember, from this year going forward, now the cap jumps up a lot going forward. So they're going to have money to get under, and Howie is good at kicking it down the line. This is what they do. They kick it down the line for about 5 or 6 years. They pay the price 1 year, start it all over again. So there's going to be that year where they're going to have to, unfortunately take their medicine. They take their medicine.
Trade them away like halfway through the contract, so somebody has to deal with those ghost years.
Right, exactly.
Rob saying, "Be careful with the ADHD comments." I didn't see too many of them. But
yeah, okay.
Everybody's got it, bro. Everybody's got it. Broad Street Apparel. If somehow they could turn this around into the summer, then I'll be happy. Listen, I think they will. Here's my thing: is they will turn this around. They're if you took this team, it wasn't put together, but just their individual accolades as pieces of paper individually and put it together as one team. Before this happened, the Phillies are a good team on paper. They are, and they can be.
They need something to bring it all together. Maybe they ought to get Topper, like they did in Major League, just put Topper's face on that chick's body and have him rip a piece off, saying you guys stink. Do something, man. But
and this, I agree with Ryan too. He's saying too many free swingers with no concept. Hitting coach can only do so much. It's not the GM. It's the GM, not the constructing how disciplined hitting and fundamentals of hitting. And I think that's a big. If you want to go back to the question he asked about, what's his name, Castellanos, he was just one of the worst case scenarios of that. Like, I think they're trying to change it. It's just when they suffer, this is what they do.
Yeah, I mean, look, for all you people, I was a Cassidy guy. Like, I wanted Cassidy here. I was happy that the Phillies signed him. But if you really take a look, Cassidy, he's not doing so well for San Diego. He's a platoon player. So,
Broad Street Apparel US is also my Etsy shop. Send me a link on Facebook. I'm always looking to buy shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Ask my wife. She's behind the curtain here, cringing right now. Oh God, more shit in my house. Browns would want Jalen Carter. So you're saying Jalen Carter trade him for
Myles Garrett?
No. The whole point is to match those two together, at least for a couple of years. Pot exasperates my ADHD. Don't say Andy beat too much. I think if he was already getting Beetlejuiced, he's tired too. I think him and Mike, those guys have been working way OT. Al, let's go Flyers. I felt we would win last night. I felt we would win last night. Yeah, I mean we did, and I just think the energy, the flow was definitely at least in the game one in favor of your Flyers, your black and orange there.
Yeah, Ryan saying he would go with Proctor from Alabama. I like Proctor. I
I do
like
too.
Prop. I like him too, but I feel like he's a project though. You know,
Well, that might be a reason they want to take on a project because my problem is do you take somebody in the first round who's going to sit for the year? You lose a year of his eligibility.
right, exactly. So
That's the only reason I see them not going for. And there's also not a lineman in right now. Now, listen, we say there's no Lane Johnson in the draft. As of right now, there's no projected Lane Johnsons. Now, guys can come out and just be just world beaters before you just didn't know it going into it. But
yeah, I mean, the guy.
I you know me, trenches. Nobody loves the O line. Wait till I break down the O line after the the draft.
Listen, the one guy I'm looking for is the kid Freeling from Georgia. You know, I would love to see.
Who's the guy from Oregon? A really big dude, but he's probably a project. I think he's their defensive tackle. I can't remember his name. I was watching videos on him. I liked him. Guy was a pure beast. Athletic, but he you can hit him with a twitch, and I think that's why he's going to go like in the third round. No topper needs to have a flip out like George Knox and the Angels in the outfield. I don't think anybody could take him serious. I think if Topper flipped out and started flipping tables and hitting and breaking TVs, like he's the kind of guy. Like it's kind of like watching an old lady curse. It's just kind of comical. Like nobody's going to take it serious, like type situation. Bruce say, Mike, I feel we should let Harper go, get Mattingly to be in charge, and I feel they don't play hard for Topper. Oh, let Hopper, I guess. Hopper. I mean, if he gives him a Topper. Yeah, I don't know if Topper is believing what he sells anymore or the team. That's my biggest, like, if I was going to narrow this whole show down into one sentence, I think I just did it right there.
Broad Street, too. Yeah, make sure you send me over yours, too. I'll check that out as well. Yeah. I gotta get some Flyers gear, Al. Believe it or not, I got a ton of Flyers hats. I have no Flyer shirts. Like my wife said to me last night, she's like, "You got Flyers hoodies?" She goes, "But you got no Flyers." Like,
I got a ton of hoodies. I got about 3 T-shirts. I got this is my Michkov jersey. I got another jersey. I forget who it is, and then I got like 2 or 3 orange ones. Funny thing is, you want to have the least amount of. I mean, outside the Sixers, you know that. Like, I actually know. I have it in hats. Eagles, midnight green hats. I have a lot of Eagles, like the Kelly Green and stuff, but midnight green. I just bought 2 more to make it 5. I also just did a count of all my hats because I have a whole new hat organizer. I'll take a picture and do it on one of the shows and show about it. It's sick.
I'm laughing at one. I'm laughing at the comment, the last comment there.
The one hat I wear, the hats I wear, I have 50 plus. The hats that I save for like from playoffs and stuff, there's another 25.
Yeah, my wife already told me. She said, when we get a house, I need, she said I need my own room for.
I bought my house. You know why I bought my house? 2 reasons: better school district and this.
Yeah.
Philly. Wait. I sent him to the Philly AM sports page. There is no Philly AM sports page.
Unless Pat created one.
Oh, I don't know. Here. Just you know what? Put the link in here. Just put it in the comments. I don't care. I'm here to help out a friend. Whatever. Somebody else wants to click on it right ahead. Because that's not us. And if somebody created it, I'm unaware of it.
Look at this one.
It's funny how everybody is the fire topper train. Well, there's a room for you as I am the conductor. Listen, Mike,
Mike's been driving that locomotive for years.
Just because you're right now doesn't mean you're right then, as I always say. But my point is, yeah, the time has finally come. Like, I'm on the train. I'm punching my ticket. I'm on. I'm taking my seat. It's because people do have an expiration date. And the guys, I've given the guy every chance to be better, to improve, all that kind of stuff. But he has not done so. Al, I have a shirt like yours, and I love it. Yeah, dude. These are the official ones. They just fit better on guys like me. Like it just the cheap ones that don't always do that. I need my Richards jersey back, Pop.
Yeah, listen.
Insane.
Oh yeah, yeah. My son kind of outgrew his Richards jersey. That was, needless to say, one of my many investments.
I got a lot of jerseys. Most of them are older, but most of them are signed, so they're getting hung up into the stairwell. When Doc Roberts said that they were lucky to beat the Phils, I was like, man, I hope Dombrowski didn't hear that. Yeah, that was when the Dodgers or they were talking about they were lucky to beat the Phils last year. And the funny thing is, they were there, like they were in that realm, I guess. The Phillies are stuck with long bad contracts. They really are. Like it's really getting to a point. That's why I'm like the Cattell Marte BS is just like I can't subscribe to it. It says here it is, guys. Maybe it doesn't come up here.
Yeah, we'll probably have to go on the
I'll have to go on
after.
there and look at it. Yeah. I'm gonna check it out because as Mike will tell you, there's
We both.
if there's an ounce of wall space or anything, I can put in something in my basement or another hat to add to my collection. I'm there. You saw my fighting my Philadelphia Fightins hat. That was another. I think that was an Etsy store one. What's
Mm.
on the dinner menu? Good. Thank you for the transition, Joe Hale. Mike Laro. What's on the dinner menu for you tonight?
I think I'm gonna go with. I don't know. I really don't because like it usually comes up. I don't know. I think I'm feeling kind of pasta today. I'm
Oh,
actually gonna pull
geez.
my inner Pat Bernard. I haven't had pasta in a while,
Yeah,
so
you
maybe I
just gotta
might do
find
some.
yourself a really, Mets colored shirt, and you're just Pat Bernard through and through.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not. I may not live in Delco, but my home loan is financed through Franklin McCredit. That's funny. Um, the failed bunt. Oh, I missed that. I was right 4 years ago when Robbie's expiration date was 4 years ago. All right. No, you weren't. Listen, can I just say this? You're not right then. Right? I mean, even Rob was having success then, and they were only 2 years out. They fired Girardi. They went to the World Series, and then the next year they put on a good fight. And then they fell apart in 2023 at the end. So no, you weren't right then. You were right.
Listen, man, Mike is up there doing his good old Barry Horowitz impersonation since it's WrestleMania weekend. Got to
Mhm.
show a little love there to the world of wrestling. Mike's over there giving himself the proverbial self pat on the back over
Mike
there.
might get a rotator cuff tear if he pats himself on the back any further.
He's going to be the only guy I know he could probably reach the center of his back to scratch it. He's patting himself so hard there on the back there, Mike. Say, look, now he's down. Now he wants Don Mattingly to quit before they fire Robbie. Mike, do you want to come out and coach the Phillies?
I mean, seriously, is that what it is? Are you making a bid to come be the skip? Like, is that what it is? And listen, Rob, I'm not saying he would either, but probably said the same thing about Tomper when they fired Girardi. Like, was that the first? Like, oh, don't worry, Rob Thompson's here. We're all good. Like, nobody said that. So I sometimes it's just a change, and maybe the guy who's played at a high level where they could respect him a little bit more, like just a reset of the brain of the Phillies as as a team. Like, here's somebody we can get behind.
Yeah. I mean, listen, and it's not like you guys really forget, like, Mattingly coached and he coached in the playoffs. People forget, those he took over for Joe Torre in LA. Okay. He also coached the Marlins. Like, he's been in the postseason. So Mattingly knows how to coach. It's not like Rob Thompson was an unknown before this. But, what do I know?
What do you know? You know what? I don't know. I'm seeing Broadshire. I've still not seen the link, bud. I went
Yeah,
onto the YouTube page to see if I can find the link. It just says here
it's
it is, guys. I have to wait. Hold on. Do you want? Let me do this for you. Etsy. I'm going to Etsy for you because I'm going to help out a guy. I'm going to help out a friend here.
yeah,
It's Broad Street
apparel.
Apparel US. I think he said it right. Well, that didn't help. Maybe if I learn how to spell. don't don't get
Uh,
caught up. Don't get caught up in the.
it's not official gear, but it's fan gear.
Oh, that's
So
fine. I'm okay. I got a lot of stuff's not official gear. I like that kind of stuff. If it's
it's
smart, yeah.
are you kidding me? Half of the stuff I have was like I showed
Well,
the
there's
delivery.
there's a difference between being not official gear, like the T-shirts that the Phillies used to sell, or they used to sell all the time. It's not official gear because you can. It's not that part's not copyrighted. I'm not
Right.
sure if you guys listen to WIP, but I have made shirts for the midday show. Oh, okay, all right, that's cool, dude. Showed on the air the other day. Oh, really? I have to check them out. Don Mattingly sitting in the dugout thinking, doing really want to? Do I really want to manage
The
this
Saints
sinking
shit.
ship? I think Michael Kaepernick was having like a stuttering. I think he has like hand cramped up in mid type there.
Yo, he's
Uh,
so mad right now. Mike's so mad about getting Robbie. Yet look, he's like missing buttons. He's
he's like,
missing.
he broke
Missing.
some of the buttons on his keyboard. Yeah. Should Rex Ryan, his is for Paps, should Rex Ryan coach the Phillies? It's funny. Like Kaepernick. Set the search, the you, just search the you people. I'm afraid to search that.
I'm
What do you
afraid to
mean,
search.
you people?
Oh man. All right, Al. So you asked me, what are you doing?
Pork loin, baby.
Okay.
Pork loin. That pork loin, potatoes, the greens. I think I might have found it. I'm not sure. Yep, the broad street. Here it is. Found it. I got your store. I will be rummaging it.
Good. Send me the link.
I'll send you a link after this. Yeah. Um. Let's see. Rob's got a clawed. Yeah. You listen, man. This was always an argument on this show for many years when even when Pat was here and everything. The claw. I still love Claude Drew. Still do. I think it was just underappreciated in this town because we didn't win with one with him that the people didn't think they blamed him for it when it was more than just him. I dusted off the Fennec the Kerr and the Hextall jerseys. I dusted off the Pronger jersey, the Danny Briere jersey, my throwback Dave the Hammer Schultz jersey. I mean, like,
See, you guys. I went and got my own custom jersey. You know,
oh yeah,
I got the Flyers logo, the orange one with the
Slayer
silver.
on the
No, it just says Laro. It's like I don't go. I'm not getting. I'm getting my own damn jersey. I ain't because you know what? They changed teams so damn much. No, I would have to take the patch off of it and put the new player on there. But I'm telling you, I'm getting real close to buying a Porter Martone jersey. I'm getting real close to buying me one of those.
I'm liking his stickers, by the way. You know me, I like my stickers for my laptop. I have the Phillies won a World Series with the same core player of players or manager. I can answer that no, but let's still live off of it. The Phillies are going to the World Series 4 years ago. I'm not living off of that. I'm saying at the time, Michael Power. See, Mike, you're getting my goat going. Look at this. You're getting me going.
Yeah.
At the moment, the guy came in here with a team who was flailing, turned it around, not just took him to the playoffs, took him to the World Series, and you wanted him fired after that. Come on, man. Could you imagine your job?
And listen, I like.
You just land a giant account, like $1 million account for your job as a salesman or something. I don't know what you do. I'm just kind of using it as an example. And they said, "Hey, Mikey P, good job. Here's a little commission. Get out because you're going to fail. We know you're going to be failing, and we're going to fire you in 4 years." Like, come on, man.
Listen,
You know, it's easier. I'm sorry to cut you off. It's easier to be right about somebody failing than somebody being, because how hard it is to win the World Series. So it's easier to be right about somebody not winning versus somebody winning. So take that to the bank.
Yeah, I don't know. I love Mike. I've known Mike for 30 years, and you know, to me, he would be the same guy bitching and complaining that they didn't make the postseason for 4 years. So I mean, you can't have it both ways there, man. Listen, you have a team that gets invited to the dance. Now, sometimes you get to leave with the pretty girl. Sometimes you got to leave with the girl that's looking good at 2:00. It's just the way it is. The Phillies. They got to go be with the pretty girl for one season. After that, they had to kind of be the wingman.
They were chasing after her, and she just
Yeah.
she wasn't putting out.
Yeah.
I'm having
But you,
spaghetti and clams and garlic bread,
ooh,
red
that
or
sounds good.
white, because that I might be stopping over to Michael Papernick's house for some din din tonight. I might put the pork up on the shelf on that answer.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not a big clams guy. I'm not a big seafood guy, but anything with pasta, dude,
yeah. My friend has an Eagles jersey, a real one with a dollar sign on the back. The name said free agent. It was a that was a major attention magnet. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
I'm all about the 2 a.m. Oh my god.
God, he has arisen.
Oh my god. He has arisen, and you know that means just. I mean, we've Beetlejuiced at least 6 times. The man must be tired. Beetlejuice him quite often. Equal opportunity smack talker around here, or winning or losing.
There you go.
That's why I love him. I'm having crab boiled today. Oh, I'm going to Joe Hale's
Yo,
house then. What? Send us the address, Joe Hale. We're on our way. Yeah, I have a thing on WIP. The U people. I basically took on being the designer for that. Okay, I have to check that out. I'll be honest with you, I've not listened to the dial, and it has nothing to do with me doing this or anything. Just kind of falling out of love with it.
Mhm.
Steaks for the wife. It's her birthday tomorrow. All right.
Yeah, daughter-in-law's birthday
It's
tomorrow.
house. All right, I'm good. You are the 2 a.m.
Yes, I am, and I will proudly say that.
And Nooms for the win on that one. Yes, Rob, he did. The coffin creaked open just in time for us to end it. I'm having not red and white clam. Oh, both. Oh, you're having both? Oh, I'll bring the bread, bro. I got a good place that makes homemade bread. We're gonna go to town there, Mikey P. We're gonna go to town. And my fiance's birthday today. Is not sure what she wants to eat. What's her favorite restaurant? That's all I got to find out, man. Like, unless you're a cook. See, my wife likes when I cook for her. I go all out. I do like a 5-course meal for her. That's what I do. Pop like a good 2 a.m. fish bowl.
Shut up, boy. Shut up, boy. Just shut up.
On that end.
See what happens? Damn kids moving back close to me. I liked it better when you're 1,500 miles away.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
like,
no, I'm just kidding.
Jeez Louise. So the rest of the day, you got the Phillies post game. And then tomorrow, yeah, you got right, today's right. Yeah, the Phillies post game with the Braves. Matty B will have the down on the farm segment, which even if the Phillies suck, guys, the down on the farm segment is the worth to watch. It gives you hope for the future, which is all we can hope for at this point. But you got tomorrow Flyers and Phillies post game shows. Wednesday, you got the Gridiron Weekly, the Phillies post game show. Final word with Matty B. Wednesday, leading up day before the draft eve, as I call it. You get the Pittsburgh Sports Desk, Phillies versus Cubs, and Flyers Pens post games. And then Thursday the 23rd, it's all draft coverage starting at 8 o'clock with all through the first round with our boys over at the Gridiron Weekly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hit them up and see what they're doing. See if they want me to pop one or what.
Maybe I'll comment a couple because we're definitely going to have to get them on for Sunday. I think we have to reach out to them and see if they want to come on Sunday to talk a little Pittsburgh versus Philly, see where we're at in the series, see who can talk the most trash. Then of course Friday I'm back with the post game / Philly Fighting Frenzy. And then Saturday's pretty busy. You got the best of rap sports, Phillies and Flyers post game. And again, Sunday, Phillies and post game, of course, Philly AM Sports. We will be back for that as well.
Yeah, I was supposed to have John on, believe it or not, last night, but he actually ended up having to go to Florida. So, we definitely want to get some of those guys on. I think Will might have been working the game. So, but I'm definitely going to go and I'll definitely talk with those guys about doing something. I will be celebrating soon after my divorce of.
Oh, 30-year marriage. Can't wait for the party. I'm throwing everyone is invited. Jeez. Mike, I'll party with you, man, but I didn't know about all that.
Yeah, man. Y'all sorry about that, Mikey, but I guess you're okay. So
yeah, you guys should do it. Check out. I literally here. Funny thing is, check out the Sanchez shirt I made. I was literally staring right at it. Like as you were saying that, I'm literally looking at that one. All right, guys. Other than that, it is we got to give you a little overtime today, which is always fun with you guys. We appreciate everybody as always. He's Mike Lauro. Oh, and you know what? Before I forget, speaking of, this is the Braves one. I guess he didn't put out this series yet. But here is your lineup. So Mike was last night. Monday's Matty B. Mike's back on Wednesday, and Saturday's Matty B. So there's your lineup for the Flyers. I don't have the Phillies one yet, but I know I'll be back on Tuesday for that.
I'm Monday. I'm Monday for the Phillies.
Monday,
So
okay, Monday, Tuesday, right here. So we got you guys covered. If you miss us, that's when you'll see us. Don't be sorry. Bump my ex out loud. Jesus. So it's Thursday. Phillies Titans final will be seen Friday. I guess we're just not going to do that one. We're just going to skip that one.
There's no game
Thursday.
Thursday.
That's right. Yeah, there's no game. Duh.
So
yeah, that's right. There is no game on Thursday. No problem. I'll be checking that out. Hopefully, Painter shows up tonight along with the offense. Yeah, I know that's a great question. Other than that, guys, thank you. We will see you all next time.